welcome everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official LOTRO stream channel here on twitch.tv. I am your host, Little Redhead, and I will be taking you around some parts of Middle Earth here today in Lord of the Rings Online, where we go and explore some various things. Well, we have the Spring Festival on right now, so I am most likely going to be taking us to the Spring Festival. Also, we are celebrating Spring Festival, but not necessarily spring, because spring hasn't arrived in the outside world yet. But we're getting close. We're getting close. It is this as of this coming Saturday. It will be 2 years ago that I joined this stream team. I used to stream on Thursdays, and then I switched over to Tuesdays, so that way B4 and I are back to back. And just makes it a little bit easier for our schedule, so we could do chunks of things like go to the hardware store on other days. So we are celebrating my 2-year stream anniversary today and next week, next Tuesday as well. So back-to-back giveaways and all sorts of goodies. So that's the housekeeping to get started with there. And speaking of other housekeeping, I'm going to go ahead and say hello to my friendly neighborhood Wenda Cranesbill here. Hey, Coach, thank you. Happy stream anniversary, is said in the chat. Thank you very much. Yes, it's very exciting. 2 years. Like, been doing this for 2 years. Isn't that something? And I've only missed a few days. Like, when we're traveling or things like that, then it's like, it gets a little crazy. But I usually try not to stream on those days. Because I don't want to take my laptop and be streaming from somebody else's house. And it's just, like, kind of gets weird. So Aaron Bard, thank you. This is Happy Annie. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I keep missing Green Dragon Friday recently, speaking of anniversaries and events and things. So I ended up, basically, I've been double booked on Friday nights, now triple booked kind of, since the beginning of the year. And I've been able to manage it where I was like one thing and then I'd get home in time for Green Dragon Friday. But I have not been, and so I've been missing it lately. So it's very sad. Let's see. I'm going to check my Hobbit present because I haven't done that today. Let's take a look. Got Minor Potion of Power. All right. And 20 Virtue XP. That's always nice. So Durin Deathless says, congrats on the 2-year anniversary. Thank you. Thank you very much. So yes, Aaron Bird, I know I feel weird not being there. It's just life is chaotic sometimes, Sometimes you are the chaos and sometimes the chaos takes you. And we are in one of those spaces. Now I'm just noticing that my to-do list over here, my quest log stuff over here is all about Cardaland. We are not going to go to Cardaland today. So I'm going to just remove all. Oh, here's a little trick. So if you don't know this already. So you see how they have little rings there. Now it says right click to get entry options. And you might not be able to see that, but it says click to open entry in quest log. Boom, which you can do. So there's that. Or if I click on, that was still in the deed log. Let me go to something that's like that. So it takes me to the quest log, right? If you just click on it, you just click on it and that kind of thing happens. But if you right click on it, it gives you some other things. So show in the deed log, just like the normal click on it, but you can unlock it. You can remove just that one that you've clicked on. You can remove all of the things here from this side, or you could track the nearby quests. So if I hit track nearby quests, it's going to add nearby stuff that I have to do that it says is nearby. So I'm going to just remove all here, get a clean slate. And yes, as some of you are noticing, we are doing some giveaways today. So B4 is going to be running the giveaways for me. So thank you so much for that. So B4 and Mubot are going to work together and help give away some stuff. So a giveaway just opened. If you would like to be in it, type exclamation giveaway in the chat. And we're giving away a housing item, the Sleeping Gray Cat. And since I'm here in the neighborhood, I'm going to run over to my house and I'll show you one, because I have perhaps one or many sleeping gray cats. Yes, and we have 2 sleeping grayish, gray-brown cats over against the window. So the sun has finally started coming out more consistently, and it's great. And so we have a couple of kind of our cheaper IKEA chairs packed up against the window while we're in the middle of a whole bunch of other stuff. There's construction in the house. So things are kind of a little chaotic. Anyway, the cats are very happy with this. In fact, so the point where I've set the 2 chairs so they're like facing each other. And so one cat's on one chair and one cat's on the other chair. And they're in the sun and they're very happy. So it's great. Yes, okay, so type !giveaway if you want to be into the giveaway. Oh, you know what? I think I have the cats. I think I put them at the kin house. I'll need to pop over there in a minute. Yes, this is my house. And while it would be nice to put the cats here, I did put them in the kin house for everyone to share. So let me pop back over there. Wrong house. Hang on. So yes, type !giveaway into the chat. And the way we're doing the giveaways is that you must be present to win. So when we pull it in, like, I don't know, half an hour or 20 minutes, something like that, you'll need to be here because we'll say, hey, you know, so-and-so, you have won, blah, 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 you know, and then you'll want to be in the chat so that way you and B4 can exchange whispers, and he can give you the code that you will then put in to get your fancy little item. And also 1 win per stream. So if you win the Sleeping Gray Cat, the other things that we give away today will ask that you not be eligible for those items. So yeah, so choose your giveaways carefully. Megan, hello, Megan, welcome. Okay, so Sleeping Gray Cat. So there are multiple sleeping cats that you can get that are housing items. These aren't the pets that you can turn into housing items. These are just housing items already made to be a housing item. So I have 2 of the Sleeping Gray Cats up here. I have 1 of the sleeping cats here, and they are sleeping. We'll come back. And then I run by my little shower there. And I also have a sleeping brown cat down here. You know what? I've been meaning to do this. I'm gonna do it right now. We're gonna move this sleeping brown cat. Where are you? Oh, you came from all the way up there. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna take you out of there for the moment. And bunk, 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 bunk. We're gonna swap you out for one of the gray cats. How about this one that's not moving yet? Nope, that's a floor rug. That's a sleeping gray cat. Yep. All right, so we're gonna swap you out. Swoop. Now I gotta move him back over here. Now, where did he come from? Far, far away, I think. Where are you, cat? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let me reset that. I don't know where he is. Let's see if we can find him. Where are you? I was using furniture hooks from other locations, as you may have guessed. Haha. Oh, wait, here's the brown one. Okay. This is the one I was just putting in there. Interesting. You know what? What's here? Oh, that's that. That's that. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's the little relic display table. I mean, it's cute. Okay, you know what? We're going to remove the Light of Gundabad. And, well, I want the brown cat up here, though. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Okay, so brown cat, you're here. We're going to change you out for the gray cat. All right, and then we're going to go and exchange the Light of Gundabad. Is going to go, and it's going to become a cat. Okay, so where are my cats? There's the brown cat. I'm going to move him a little closer to the fireplace, though, because, you know, they do love that heat. And you can see the cats are kind of moving around as I'm just standing here doing this. They do some cute little emotes and things, little actions. Okay, so let me turn off that. So now you can see the cats in all their glory. So we've got the sleeping gray cat here. This is the sleeping brown cat over here, and this is the sleeping cat. Kind of got some little stripes and stuff going on there, little gray stuff. There, let me move that out of the way. And you know what? We can get my HUD out of the way, and we can take the names off even better. So there we go. All right. What are the other giveaways? Well, I don't know exactly yet. I've got some ideas. How do we choose carefully? You don't know what they are. It's chaos. I bring chaos to your life. Yes, choose with abandon and win wisely. There you go. Or, you know, win something and be glad for it. enter things that you would be so happy to have. How's that? We might let everybody enter the big ones. I suppose that might work. Anyway, so there's the different cats. And what we are giving away right now is the gray one. There's this fellow over here by the fireplace. So they must be short-haired cats. Look at them. So yes, and so they stand up, like they lick their paws like that. You can see this guy's licking his paw over here. They curl up and and sleep really well. They do some kind of wandering around. Yep, and then they lay back down. So it's awesome. So that's what we're giving away, is one of those gray kitty cats. Yes, look at that. There they go. Zonking out, just like our real life cats. I love it. All right. So yeah, so that's what you want to type exclamation point giveaway into the chat. Now I'm kind of curious, where did my other cat go? I mean, they've got to be around here somewhere. Oh, it says right there. Where are you? I feel like he's underground. Cool. Oh, hey, there's the cat. Awesome. We're Willow. Hey, we're Willow. The question is, I'm curious, did you pick your purple shirt to match Rose's purple outfit? Because it's perfect. Oh, it's purple-fict. That didn't quite work. It was close. You know what? We're going to just leave the sleeping gray cat right here by the waterfall for now. Do we want to do that? No, I think, you know what? I think this cat needs to go be by the fireplace too. Let me see what I can do. To answer your question, I did not. Although I really like this shirt. And it's starting to get like... It's starting to kind of fall apart a little bit. And I did not intend for it to match my character's outfit, but I love it. I didn't even think about that. I guess there's something about choosing colors in real life and choosing colors in the game that maybe are, you know, maybe there's something about that. Hey, yes, that's right. No, because you're dressed in rose. Okay, so Affodil just showed up in the game and says maybe she's inspired by me. But no, because Affodil wears rose color, which is more of a pink. And I tended to go with, so I've gone with the lavenders and the purples with Rosenbloom here. Because I always think it's funny that Rosenbloom doesn't wear rose, but the people with Rosenbloom wear rose. So like, for example, on Laurelin, my two characters, my main characters there are Rosenbloom and Adamantia. Adamantia wears rose, Rose does not. So I think that's kind of funny. So it's a little joke I play in my head. But no, it was not intentional. And this is the only purple shirt that I have, I think. And I was actually thinking today, I'm kind of going through that point where when we moved here like 4.5 years ago, I brought the clothes with me that I really wanted, and we let go of everything else. That's nice. I like the ranger in the purple. Grr, I'm a ranger. Yes, you are. Although I've got my little ranger face shield on, face hood there. I'm a ranger. I'm very stealthy. So anyways, so the clothes I brought over, you know, like 4.5 years ago are starting to kind of fall apart, some of them, because I didn't bring a ton of them, and we don't have, I don't know, I didn't feel a need to have like a wardrobe of 1,000 things, although I probably have 1,000 things, but with all the t-shirts and stuff, because I have a lot of t-shirts. That was a hard one. I had a really hard time getting rid of like the fandom t-shirts I have, and things like Doctor Who shirts, and like just all these different things that I have. And not that I wear t-shirts like all the time, and to be honest, lately I prefer wearing, oh, you found your spring outfit. I prefer wearing really loose t-shirts, and a lot of the t-shirts I have are when I was like not the size I am now. Like the years over the last 10 years or so, my t-shirt size has increased. So some of the shirts don't fit me in a way that I feel comfortable at the moment. They're just like, I feel tight. So, are you eating? Awesome. Anyway, so I have a lot of t-shirts, but long sleeve shirts I don't have a lot of, and when it's been cold, I definitely want long sleeves. So over this kind of fall winter, early springtime, I'm like, I need some long sleeve shirts, and my shirts are starting to fall apart. So I've started having to go and buy stuff. So I'm just thinking, like, I'm kind of going through this. I had just like, my entire wardrobe was just black clothes for a long time because it matches everything, right? So black matches black. That's easy. I mean, in general. So I was like, I should diversify. So I've got green. I have a lot of green stuff now because I really like green. And then you might see like the furniture and the walls and stuff green. Now the walls were already green when we got here, but I was like, I'm on board. But now I'm like, okay, I should diversify. So now I have a bunch of green stuff and then this purple shirt. And then I was like, recently, all my black shirts have like basically gone away. And I'm like, wow, I don't have any black shirts anymore. So kind of starting the cycle all over again. But I was just thinking earlier, I should maybe keep an eye out for a replacement purple shirt for this because I really like this shirt. Anyway, question in the chat from Aaron Bard is there a difference between the in-league keg and the skull keg? Okay, so this one right here, the in-league sinister keg. Let's see. And the skull keg. Do I have the skull keg? I don't think I do. Wait. Oh, wait. Sorry, you're talking about these two. Oh, right. The in-league keg and the in-league sinister keg. Yes. They are different. Let's see. Well, let's do the tooltip. So here's the in-league sinister keg. Here's the in-league keg. Let's say they say on use, drinking this brandy may not be the safest thing you could do. Okay, duration 10 seconds. Okay, expired on applied on expiration. You feel a bit woozy. More brandy will solve that, and that's a duration of 15 seconds. And then you disappear to somewhere. Grounded Eagle 103, thank you, says I think one takes you to Eriador and one takes you to Moria. Yeah, I think that's the key right there. Is I think they take you to different locations. Like each one has a little mini list of places you might end up, and the list where you might end up is different between the pair of them. I'm pretty sure it's random, but it's random within that list. Yes, and sometimes you lose your pants. Not always. You don't always lose your pants. Well, I guess I can't tell because I'm wearing a dress in the game, so you know. Yeah. So yeah, the in-league keg says a Hobbit keg filled to the brim with triple strength brandy. Drink this at your own risk. And the in-league sinister keg says a very sinister keg filled to the brink with some foul stuff that probably came from the Forsaken Inn's own recipes and ingredients. To drink from this would not be wise. So there you go. Yeah, Deco de Miu, thank you. Before has put in a couple things in the chat that are important here. Giveaway reminder, we are giving away the housing item, a sleeping gray cat, not one of the ones you just saw on screen, one of your very own. You'll get a code and you'll put it into the game and then you'll have your own. The second thing is, yes, he put in the link to Deco de Miu, which is a website, Deco de Miu, that you see here. And it is a French site, but he does everything also again in English. So those of you who are not fluent in French, you still have a chance to be able to see what all is there. Hopefully, if you don't speak English or French, hopefully you can translate the page into your own using, like a button at the top or something. At any rate, yes, every single housing item is listed at the D&Co website, and you can get information about like what it looks like. He'll do. Yao is the person who manages this, and it's an amazing. Yeah, it's a fabulous website, and there's multiple pictures, so you can kind of see what it looks like from different angles, and also there'll be information about like where do you find the item you're looking for and how much does it cost, like who do you talk to purchase it. All those things are listed there, so that's really awesome. For the kegs, do you have a listing by any chance? Yeah.
It doesn't list their abilities, so the links.
No, the drunken destinations down there at the bottom. Yeah. The Deco site doesn't list the where these kegs take you, but the wiki does. And the wiki is also another fantastic website. It's a great resource. I would say when you're playing LOTRO, your main resources are going to be the D&Co website, the LOTRO wiki, which is LOTRO-wiki, and Fibro Jedi. Those are like fantastic resources for everything. when it comes to LOTRO stuff. So awesome. So yes, the wiki has a more complete list of destinations as before. So there you are. So the in-league keg and the sinister keg. All right, how about I take a drink out of one of these two, since we're standing here. Dealer's choice. What do you guys want? Do you want to see me do from the in-league keg or the sinister keg? Oh, you know what? I just realized I should put the sinister keg on the left. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Because, you know, isn't that Latin, like, for left? All right. Let's see. Sinister. I got heraldry for the win. Heraldry. That would make it double dangerous. Which one's heraldry? Hang on. While you're talking about that, I'm gonna try and move this. I wish I could just pick up and drag, but that is not a thing. All right, so that one's going there, and then this one's going here, just a teeny bit more. Okay, and then let's scoot you back in. Nope, the other way. Oh, I might need to rotate it a little bit. Well, I guess I don't have to rotate it, but yeah, we'll rotate that a little bit. Nah, I think I want to bring it forward just a little bit. Nope, the other forward. There we go. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so yes. Oh, in heraldry left equals sinister. Haha. Okay, so sinister it is, and now sinister, the sinister cake is on the left. So, let's see. We went with the pun. All right, here we go. Let's find out what happens. So I now have an effect on me that says party time. It's party time. You feel an irresistible urge to find a party somewhere. That's a duration of 10 seconds, which it is about to expire. An expiration. Now let's see, I still have the it's party time. This is second party time. Look, everything's getting all fuzzy. Come here, you use the cute fuzzy little hobby. You have furry feet. Let me pet them. All right, here goes party time. And the other, and then I've got now. I wait. What? Where? Happening? And that's this one right here. And that lasts for 5 minutes. I am in Angmar. I've ended up way down here, at the bottom, outside of Malinhad, and the world is still very fuzzy. Whee! Here, I will jump up. Now, they were very nice to me. They put me in a what do you call that? The survival ring, the wakey ring. So that was very nice. Not to just plop me down next to some, crazy enemy or something. Actually, this isn't a bad location if you're trying to get out here. Plus, hello, platinum. I'd say that was a win. Yes. We are very drunk on the screen. So this is what the screen looks like if you encounter any of those effects that make you drunk, or let's see. There's some frogs in Moria that, like, they get you, poison on you. Yes. Bill Slosky says, I see 3 of you. Indeed. Do you know, one time I did get like this kind of drunk, and I was at a really stressful job, and we, like, a lot of us went out to get a drink together at one point. Like, the job was so crazy. Like, we were getting death threats at work, and it was insane. So at one point, a whole bunch of us went out because we needed to just, like, let go of everything for a little bit. And I was playing pool with some of the folks, and I was on the team with, like, the head of IT, and yeah, I got to the point where I'm like, crap, I'm seeing 3 balls on the table. I don't know which one to hit. He said, hit the middle one. That was great. Now my pool game is now terrible after that night, which is even funnier. Let's see. Karami Live says, can we see your sculling? I'm not sure. Am I skilling? I'm not sure what that is. You want to see what skills I have, like down here? Not sure what you're looking for. Sorry. Okay. Egg Arthur says the Deco Demu is apparently named after a D&Co French decorating show. That's cool. Rally points. Thank you. Yeah, we'll call this a rally point. So if you're ever in a situation and your screen looks like this and it is really not making you happy, you could go into your options. And what this is this is called post-processing effects is what this is doing. So we're going to look for post-processing effects. And so I put in post, so it can either be here under advanced graphics or it's going to be under UI settings. Now we look at advanced graphics right there. Post-processing effects is on. Let's say I don't want this. I want to be able to see what's going on. It's very important to me for whatever reason. So I'm going to turn that off. And I hit accept. So I still have the side-to-side swaying thing, but now I can see. So it's a lot more convenient if you're like, trying to accomplish things in the game. Sometimes I will take off post-processing effects when I'm streaming, for example, because, maybe you all don't want to just see a gray screen. You want to see all the colors that are happening in the game, because there's a lot of really cool colors that happen in the game, yeah, or Aaron Bard says running fences, things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why you might want to take that off. Now, if you are running on like high and very high graphics, if you set it, it'll reset that to the post-processing when you reset it to very high or something like that. So just know that you may have turned it off and it might come back on when you put your graphics on a high level. So just a heads up there. All right, so we're here for the Spring Festival and the giveaways, of course. So reminder, put exclamation point giveaway into the chat if you want to have a chance to win that sleeping gray cat housing item. Okay, so I'm a hunter, so I just teleported myself to Bree, and I used the little Breetown horse that was sitting there next to the stable master. And I've brought my little drunk self here over to the Bree Festival grounds where there is a lot going on. You can see there's a lot of people here. Like, there's all sorts of stuff happening. If you don't know the dances, the Ada Musgrove over here on the other side of the pool, every 20 minutes she does dances with men. Here, we'll just go ahead and do it. And what you can get from her is either, where'd it go? Oh, there we go. You can either get Dance Man or Dance Man 2. So let me show you. And I can, if you're not sure if you have it, you can hit Shift C to bring up your control panel, or your collections panel, excuse me. I'm going to go to my emotes. Yes, the party is in Bree. Yes, you are great, Bill Slowski. Oh, before we get too distracted here. Okay, so I'm doing the dance. In order to make this work, I have to be clicked on her. So you must make sure you're clicked on the person. Now, I have a timer here, so I have to click that action that was just there. And did you see there was a timer that was going, and I needed to make sure I clicked on that before the timer ran out. So take a brief rest, don't leave the dance area. And just think about it too, like if you're here and you're like, oh, I don't want to be dancing anymore. Notice I just clicked off of her. Uh-oh, I would fail, right? So I click back on her so I don't miss out. All right, now I have 11 seconds to do the next one. Now I take a brief rest. Now you don't have to take a brief rest. You can just sit here and keep dancing. I mean, who cares? Why not, right? Show everybody your new cool dance moves. So yes, Weir Willow points out that the water does look terrible without the post-processing effects. Almost like water, like Angmar water almost. Oh, snap. All right, so I'm clicking these little things because I don't want to run out of time. 8, 7, 6, 8. Okay, now I'm done for now, right? It says dances with men, talk with Ada Musgrove, don't leave the dance area. So make sure you don't leave the dance area. All right, and she's going to give me the option to have either Dance Man, which looks like this, where you're shuffling back and forth, and then you turn to the side and you do the tap, clap, 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 clap. So that's that one. So you do the like little hip thing, and then, yeah, oh, sorry, yeah, there, it's the wiggle the finger, and then clap, clap, clap. So that's Dance Man, and then Dance Man 2 is the one where you kind of, you cross your feet going back and forth, and then you ding, 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 and then you go back and you cross your feet and you ding, ding, ding. Yeah. So it turns out I tend to now do Hobbit emotes in like real life without really thinking about it. The other day I was stretching and here, let me pull these back up again. Pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, so Here, I'll just go ahead and do the emote. So notice how my character kind of like is spreading her arms out and kind of, you know, turning side to side a little bit with the sing emote. Here, let me do that again. Oh, hang on. I need to have the UI, the HUD up so I could show you. Okay, so there we go. Little arms off to the side and stuff. Yeah, I was doing that in real life, stretching out my back, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing the Hobbit sing emote without thinking about it. I can't help myself. Okay, what am I doing here? Let me slow down a little second. Actually, and yes, I'm going to put the post-processing back on because I do like it most of the time. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. Okay, so I've gotten myself out here to the Breland Festival grounds, and there's stuff happening. I want to talk to Sergeant Tom here. So yes, ground control, yes. Later on, he becomes a major, we're pretty certain. So he had, for me, the first day of the festival, he had 2 quests, and once I picked those 2 up, a 3rd quest popped up with him. So don't walk away until you've picked up everything he has to tell you. Oh yes, and there is a current giveaway for the housing item, the sleeping gray cat, and that we'll be closing that giveaway in a moment. So remember to type ! giveaway into the chat if you want to enter to win that. Okay, and must be present to win. Okay, so I picked up the quests from Sergeant Tom on the first day. So if we look at my quest log, we can see under festival, I have Bustling Bloom intro. I got that from him. Excuse me. And I also got the Splendor of Spring. I got that from him as well. Those are umbrella quests. So that way, if I finish these daily ones so many times, then that finishes those umbrella ones. So, so that's something that you'll want to make sure you have those because it's just extra stuff, extra goodies, and it's, you know, might as well take more stuff. Okay, so I am going to pick up today's daily thing, which is a Taste of Spring. So every day you come in here and he'll be like, there's lots to do during the Spring Festival. Get out there and get involved and earn rewards. So I'm going to participate in Spring Festival activities, and I want to do 10 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. And if I do that, I'm going to get legendary item experience because my character is level 50 or above. Was 51, they just brought it down to 50. So my character is level 50 or above, and she has gone through the quests that gave her legendary items. It's, I forget what it's called, like, you know, setting foot in Moria. That's not the name of the quest, but whatever it is that you have to do, and then they give you your legendary items. So basically, if you've done that, that unlocks the ability to get legendary item experience when you are doing festival quests. So there we are. Yeah, the Walls of Moria questline, as Egg Arthur says. So, and I'll get three spring leaves, which is the currency of this festival. So I'll go ahead and accept that from him. Okay. Let's do the giveaway. All right, the giveaway is about to close. Type ! giveaway to enter. You've got like 10 seconds. Let's see, Fafix says, my Shire home is lacking in furnishing. Well, if you don't win this cat, let me tell you, there's some cute furnishing items from Tom here. If you go to, there's housing items 1 and 2 now. So there's this cozy teapot, which is adorable. And there's a whole set of Gammer's furniture that he has, although I do want to check out the new trees. And if you run any of the instances, which we will do today, there's a whole set of Gammer furniture that Verbena has that you can get from using festivity tokens, and they go great together. All this Gammer's furniture. Anyway, so the giveaway has finished, and the winner is Anathalos. Yay! Congratulations. That's funny. It says you are not following the channel. Dum, bum, bum. Well, thank you for showing up anyway. I'm not going to make you follow the channel. You don't have to follow the channel. You just show up when you can. That's awesome. So yay, congratulations. Okay, yep, send before a whisper right here in the, not Discord, in Twitch. And he will send you a code, which you will do this. You'll go down to the little LOTRO store button at the bottom corner there, and the LOTRO store is going to load up, and you'll go to redeem code. So across the top here, you have options. You'll want to click on redeem code right here. You'll enter that code. Don't just copy and paste it on in there. Don't try to type it in. It's silly. It's long. It's crazy long. And you hit apply, and it'll be like, ka-ching. Now, make sure you do this on the server where you want it, because this is one cat, and it's going to go to the character that you do this with. So make sure that you click on it, you choose the server you want it to be on, and whichever, well, it probably doesn't matter from the character, because I think it's account bound. I don't think it's character bound, but still, make sure you're on the right server. That's the biggest key there. Wow, that's some fancy duds this person has. Wow, look at all that. Those are some fancy schmancy colors going on. Nice. A little glowy shield too. Very cool. All right, anyway. Okay, awesome. Anathalis says, thank you very much. Exactly what's missing to my home. Everybody needs a cat. Keep you nice and cozy. All right, well, after they get that sorted out, we'll start up another giveaway here in just a couple minutes. What was I going to do? Oh, what I want to do. So, if you, like I was mentioning the furniture, we'll come back and look at what Sergeant Tom has to do. But what I want to do is something in Bree. Actually, I'm going to take a little quick shortcut because I have the Travel to Lalia's Market travel skill, which is fantastic. I really love it. It only costs 3 mithril coins, and it's absolutely worth it. And you can get it at like level 5, level 10, something like that. You can get it really early on. All you got to do is get yourself to Lalia's Market in Bree, and then you go up these little stairs here and talk to her, Lalia, the mithril trader. And she's got this return to Lalia's Market item is the very first thing. So yeah, grab that, and it's a free travel skill. I mean, it's free. It's a travel skill that you then have on that character forever. And it brings you out here by the boar statue. So I'm right here by the boar fountain. Sorry, not statue, fountain. I'm right here by the boar fountain now, which is convenient because I want to go talk to this guy over here, Avery Crabapple. So he has a quest in the Spring Festival that you start off. He wants to court a woman who he finds cute, and thankfully she finds him cute in return. And so there's a whole cute little back and forth about he wants to send her flowers, but he sends them to the wrong place, and she wants to send him a plate full of treats, and she sends them to the wrong place, and so you help get everything sorted out. Once that's all sorted out, as part of that, he has you go and pick flowers. 1 flower from Bree, 1 flower from Mickledelving area, and 1 flower from like the Callendum area as part of that quest. So then later, once you've finished all of that, you come back to him, and he's got this whole long schdoodle. Okay. Where basically he's like, I want to thank you for your help, and we're going to meet up later today, and we couldn't have done this without you. Oh, by the way, Anathalis, if you have whispers blocked from strangers, you'll need to send before a whisper first, and then he can reply to you. So if you haven't heard from him yet, that could be why. So go ahead and check that. So yes, please send him a whisper so he can send you the code. So okay, so this Fistful of Flowers quest is now open to me. He says, in the meantime, he's going to go on this date. Let me introduce you to my friend, Gredlan Mugwort, this Hobbit here standing next to him. And they've come up with a wonderful plan. Working together, they're going to create bouquets and gifts for suitors to give to their sweethearts. So they want people to go out and pick a bunch of flowers, bring them back, give them to Gredlan, and, they can put together stuff, some gifts and whatnot. So, and don't worry if you don't have enough time to pick all the flowers you need. You can always come back tomorrow and try again. So the quest is collect as many flowers as you can in 1 hour. So I'm going to accept that. And now you'll see I have a timer that has started over here. Right now it says 59 minutes and 54 seconds. So that's going to keep running for the next hour. And I can go back to those 3 locations where I did the first flower and keep collecting flowers if I want to there. So for example, Let me jet myself back out to the front entrance of Bree on the west gate there. Well, do you want to go ahead and just open the next one while you're waiting for Annapolis? Well, I'm sure they'll get to you. They did comment. Oh, weird. I'm trying, but it doesn't work. It says I need to verify, although your phone is linked. You've whispered in the past on plug it along. Yeah, that's fair. All right, so patch of flowers here. I'm going to click on that while they're working stuff out here in the background. And so now I have just, oh, because I'm in a fellowship. If you're in a fellowship, this will come up because it is fellowship lootable. But I'm going to, so you have to double click on each one and be like, yes, I really do want that. That's funny. And then this patch of flowers is going to disappear here in a second. But they do spawn in the same areas. So for example, this whole area here is the brie flowers that you can collect. If you look at, actually I can just do it from here. If I look at the Shire, the whole area over there, not far from Mickle Delving, you can collect flowers, and that's where you'll find the marigolds. Or if you go up to Erluin, down here by Kellendam is where you'll find a whole bunch of those bundles of flowers. So each area is slightly different. Oh, can you say that again about flowers and fellowship? Okay, so let me do that again. So because I'm in a fellowship, what I've, oh, hang on, I'm gonna grab this barrel iron. When I tried to pick up those flowers, it's available to anybody in my fellowship. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a pop-up that looks like this. So what I can get out of here are 2 violets and 2 primroses. So it's nice that it gives you other flowers. This is the violet area, but it sometimes gives me primroses also. Is that the right way? Right way? Anyway. So if you get that, your options are every time to double click on it and it'll say, acquiring 2 primroses will bind them to you permanently. Do you wish to continue? And I say yes. And I could drop myself out of the fellowship completely, and then it just automatically gives me all the stuff. That's what we end up usually doing, because I'm going to have to double click on these and say yes every single time I go to click on something, click on these flowers. So if you are in a fellowship and you're doing the flowers collecting quest, you might want to just drop out of the fellowship for a while you go pick up your flowers. It might make it a little easier. Yeah, it was just confirm that you want to actually collect those things. That's what it was. Let's see. What else? Yes, Twitch was being very careful. Looks like B4 and Annapolis are working it out, though. Let's see. Yes, thank you, Moobot. If you do need help from Standing Stone Games, all of us that stream here on the channel, almost all of us, are just volunteers. We're just doing this for fun, and we do not work for Standing Stone Games. So if there's anything that you need help with, we can't help you. We're just going to say, send them a ticket. So, and there's a link there. So if you do find yourself in that situation, just follow that link. I think, Aaron Bard, this might have been what you're saying. Acquiring the primrose will bind it to you permanently. Do you want to continue? And I say yes. And I click on that. It says acquiring the violet will bind it to you permanently. Do you wish to continue? And I say yes. Yeah, before it says if you're in a fellowship, the game wants you to confirm that you're looting. So, yeah. Okay, we do have a new giveaway open, though this one is for a spirit bear. This is a cosmetic pet. So let me go to my collections to cosmetic pets. Spirit bear. Let's put the spirit bear on. He looks like that. Everpaw. So he's quite sizable compared to a little hobbit. And apparently he breathes the same as that young field bear behind. Look at the pair of them kind of... So that's kind of funny. I feel like I'm like, you know, face to face with a bear. When you're face to face with a bear, you hope it's a spirit bear. Hi. So that's what we are doing the giveaway for right now. It is account wide, so every single one of your characters is going to get one of these. So that's really nice. Okay. Okay. Aaron Bard saw something, but we're not sure what it was and what it wasn't. What I have. Okay. No biggie. Sounds good. Okay. So I am going to. What am I doing? I am going to take us into some instances. So, you can do this from anywhere, you just have to be not in another instance. So for example, the housing areas are considered an instance. So if you're in the housing area, you need to get out. I just want to go back to the Breland Festival grounds because that's where I want to show up when I come out. Because I like being here. It's a good place to be. No pie right now. Okay, so I'm going to just chill out right here. And I am going to start us on an instance. Actually, can you make me the leader? Because I want to walk through this. So this came up recently with a person that we were doing some questing with, and so among us, usually B4 is the leader of our fellowship, and so he always does the instance finder information. And so I was trying to walk somebody through how you do that, and I wasn't finding that I had a very good idea on how to do that because I don't do it that often. I just let him do it. So I'm like, okay, I need to walk through this more often. And I thought, well, maybe I have a video from like last year or something where I already show how to do this. And I probably do somewhere, but I couldn't find it easily. So I'm like, all right, we're going to do it. So starting from the beginning, you go to, if you want to go into an instance, you want to come to the little notch down here at the bottom. It looks like a little carrot on a normal UI layout. Mine's all fancy, so it does look different. And you'll see you have a list there. Some of the list is behind my screen here, so you can't see what I'm looking at. But what you are looking for is Instance Finder, which is the fourth one from the bottom. So you can see my mouse is on it right there. It also says you can do Control J. So that is a shortcut that you can do if you haven't bound that to something else. But by default, Control J will also open up your Instance Finder. Okay, so we're going to click on that Instance Finder. Boom, there it is. This is the thing we're looking for. And we're just paying attention to what's going on over here on the left side. Now, there are a number of categories, numerous categories. So right now it's expanded. I'm going to collapse all of it because I really don't need to see everything that's there. I already know what I'm looking for, and I want to get going on that. So we have 5 categories at this time. It might be more. It used to be less. So this is where we are now. So we've got For the Shadow, we've got Instance, Non-Scaling Instance, Seasonal, and Skirmish. Now you notice I put emphasis on seasonal because that's where we want to go. So if you open up seasonal, right now there are 4 categories. They have added a new category over the last year and then another one. So this may expand, but currently we're at 4, which kind of makes sense to me because like kind of hitting one of each of the 4 seasons. So we have Anniversary, Farmer's Fair, Spring, and Yule. So Anniversary, I think, is kind of like taking the place of summer, but I think summer. Anyway, getting into the weeds. All right, we are currently in the Spring Festival, so I'm going to click on Spring. Now, you'll notice that 2 of these instances showed up. If you are lower level than 50, this second one, this Boss from the Vaults, will not show up for you because you are not eligible to go into it. There is a minimum requirement to do that. So we're just going to look at Spring, Bee's Big Business. Because basically what they've done with each one of these, and I'll go ahead and expand these so you can kind of see this across all of them. You notice that most of these, there are 2 instances, or 2 instances that you can run. One says Boss from the Vaults, and the other one says, you know, the time of year, spring, summer, Yule, and then it has the name of what you're doing. So that's kind of the format that they have chosen for this seasonal set of instances. So the Boss from the Vaults is very like strategy oriented. You know, you're fighting a big boss that you would have encountered through the epic storyline, Naruhel the Red Maid, or Thrang from going through the Rift of Ner'zgashu, or Storvagun if you were unlocking those various wings in order to go through. Yeah, so that was the, let's see, there's Dragon Wing, there's Giant Wing, so it's the Giant Wing boss. So, okay. So those are the bosses. But then the other one that they have with it is a little more lighthearted. It's got a cute little storyline going on. So like the perfect picnic in the summer, you're trying to go have a picnic with the mayor, and you keep getting, you know, these summer heat things keep coming across you, and you have to defeat the heat. Basically, it's very cute. In the Yule one, you've got this battle at Frostbluff. The kids have made like these big snow forts, and they are getting kicked out by this wintry weather, and so you have to go defeat the wintry weather so the kids can have their snow forts back. So again, very cute. So Bee's Big Business, that's our spring one. That's the one we want to do, and it's very cute. You are helping one of the Bjorning guys. The bees are there to pollinate these giant flowers, and you basically have to just kind of escort them through and keep them safe from the goats, or keep the goats from eating the flowers. But the goats just attack the bees, and the bees have like a gazillion health. So really, you're just there to defeat the goats and pick flowers. That's what you're mainly there for. So we're going to go do Bee's Big Business. And so you'll notice like our options are, okay, so I guess I should roll back a little bit just as well. For each of these instances, for the lighthearted, more social, no, it's not social, for the more lighthearted ones, you have an option of what size do you want to run it at. So do you want to do it as a solo? Do you want to do it as a 2-person or a 3-person or a 6-person in this case? Like, so small fellowship. Tiers you can't adjust. Level you can adjust. So I'm level 75. It automatically put in 75 for me. I could run this as low as 10 if I wanted to, if I just wanted to like have a walk in the park and not care about it. Or I could run it at my level if I wanted to have, you know, a nice challenge. Also, there's some things on the sides to defeat, and that's a deed if you find all of them over time. So that might be why you'd want to run it close to your level, because they don't count if they're gray to you. Yeah, okay. So those are the options you have in running the more lighthearted version. And we'll have to decide if we're going to do an easy peasy or if we want to do it on level. Okay. So the boss from the vaults one, that one again is a little bit more difficult. You want to bring in a full group most likely, especially if you're doing harder versions. So this one, size 6 is automatic. You don't get to choose. It is always a size 6. It's always a fellowship encounter that you're running. But you get to choose, is it tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3? And the mechanics are mainly the same from one to the next. It's just that they get harder. And then again, you get to choose the level. So we'll go into spring Bee's Big Business. So I'm going to run it at level 70 though, just to, that way I don't, I can talk and hit at the same time. And we're just going to run it with the 2 of us. So we'll just run it at a level 2 and we'll hit travel now. So Aaron Bard, the question is, you have to fight on level to get the deed. So the deed I'm talking about, let's see if I can remember where it is. Probably under instances. And golly, what's it going to be under? Or is it under skirmishes? Honey, do you know off the top of your head? Try skirmish. And oh yeah, it's going to probably be in this list. Okay. Lossonark's Pesky Critters. So this is the deed that you can accomplish in here, where you defeat the Hateful Hornet, the mischievous Midgecloud, the nagging Neekbreaker, the terrorizing Toad, the worrying Wasp, and Rock. Not the Rock, just defeat Rock. So if you defeat one of those and you want it to count for this deed, it has to be, as before mentions in the chat there, within 8 levels of you. It can be 8 levels above you, it can be up to 8 levels below you, but it needs to be within 8 levels of your level. for it to count. So if I come in here and do this at level 10 and I were to defeat the Hateful Hornet, it's not going to count for me. It's like, well, that was too easy. That was no challenge. That doesn't count towards your deed. You need to actually make this a real challenge, people. So, oh yeah, so a reminder that we have a giveaway going on for the ghost bear that you see running around with us here, the spirit bear. And so type ! giveaway into the chat if you want to have a chance to win that. And we'll be giving that away here in, I don't know, like 15 minutes or something. Must be present to win. So make sure you come back. Win me. There you go. You could win me, says this ghost bear. All right, so when you first get into your instance, there's usually somebody you got to talk to. In this case, it's Grimbjorn. Hello, Grimbjorn. He has for me right now 3 quests because this one is an optional, but you only get to do it once a day. This one is a daily. You only get to do it once a day. And then Bee's Big Business is what I'm here to do. So you'll always have the one quest when you come in from him, but the other 2 won't show up if you've already run it that day. So just be prepared that you're like, where are those other quests? Be like, you already did it. You only get to do it once a day. Okay. So, and he is here and he says, well, why did I agree to lend my bees and aid Gondor with pollinating the fields of Lossarnach? Well, my trusted Hobbit, Gondor has conquered many foes that might one day threaten the safety of my vale. It is the best I could do. And he's called upon us to accompany the bees because he doesn't know the land. And how do I guide my bees on lands I don't know? But you know this land, so you're going to guide my bees. Which is really funny because, like, we haven't been to Lossarnach at all. So it's really funny that he's like, you know this place. We're like, I've never seen this place before in my life. That's okay. All right, so it's a wood area filled with flowers, he says. So we need to make sure the bees do not stray far afield and no harm comes to them. Okay, so I'm going to continue that quest. And now the bees are ready. Notice they have a little pop-up that came up. But I want to pick up those other quests before I go. So I need to pop in here and grab this. So this beautiful bouquet, optional, would like me to collect the flowers and pick those for her. Ba, ba, ba. And also bring the bees back well fed. He'll give us an extra reward. And we'll do that. So the question from Cool Witch is once a day, even if you do it at a different group size. Yes, I believe that is the case because, let's see, where's my, oh no, not there. Is it here? Yeah. So under my raid locks will be a chest for this group size. I can do other group sizes and each of those chests are different, but the daily quests pertain to you individually. So it is, so you can only get the bonus, those 3 bonuses, 2 bonuses, once a day. So let's see, beautiful bouquet, collect the flowers. I always find that weird that it just doesn't show up. Like, it's just, I can't get it to show up. But anyway, yeah, instances are special. So yes, the beautiful bouquet, optional. That is once a day for your character. Bees Big Business is the quest one, so that's the one you could run and get the chest at the different levels. And then Bees Big Business daily, it's kind of in the name, it's a daily. But you get 6 bonus leaves for that, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so you'll see we have a flower over here in the distance. I'm going to just run over there and grab it real quick before the bees go wandering off. But then, so notice the bees are still standing back there. They're just not, they're not moving until I say we're ready. So I think we're ready. So we're going to click on the bee. He says buzz, buzz. All right, so the objective is pollinate the first field of flowers and the bees must finish their task. So the funny thing is that one is the one I clicked on, and so he's kind of slow to leave. So he's talking to me. He's going buzz, buzz. So I could follow him, but just know that the other 2 will get ahead of you a little bit if you do that, which is fine. It's no big deal. I'm going to pick some flowers along the way because I can. So we're going to make a loop, and this is on the wiki, the map. Before I did a great job of creating a map, but we're going to make a loop that goes around and comes back down right behind us here. So basically we're going to make a loop and end up coming back down this this like ramp over here and finish the instance basically over there. So if you don't pick these flowers now, you can pick them on your way back around. Also, there's more than 20 flowers, so you don't have to pick every single flower. Like, you've got some flexibility there. Oh, but here's the goats. Ah, and they stunned me, eh? Well, they do that. All right, and let's finish off. There we go. Awesome. There goes the bees. You'll notice he's got like 1.4 million health. Like, he's fine. Oh, there's another flower. Let me grab that on the way. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, Tellurian says, yes, you do believe it's once per day, regardless of group size, for those specials. Yep. Yeah, otherwise, that's a good point. Because basically, this counts towards your festival questing. The sun's starting to go down. I'm going to grab a little warmth here. So the chests are available for all 3 sizes, but the do this instance quest, as Tellurian says, will only be available once per day. Yeah, and then also Tellurian points out that, yes, if you do the red maid one, for example, on tier 1, and then tier 2, and also tier 3, you'll get the festival tokens, so you get festival tokens each time you run through that, but you only get the quest that gives you the festival leaves once per day. I'm just grabbing flowers and leaving those bees to their own accord. All right, I should probably get over to the bees. Let me get back that direction. So the bees have kind of gone off to our left a little bit. So I'm going to start working my way over there because there is a festival banner over there that I want to click on. There it is. Do you see it? And it's in the distance. You might not be able to see it, but it's underneath there. Here we go. We're going to run over there. Now, you see the bees are hanging out. They're waiting because there's some goats over here. More goats. They're trying to eat all the flowers. Yeah, I think the neighbors are doing some popping fireworks. And snap fireworks. The neighbors seem to be very fond of fireworks. And they've got some of those snap things that you throw on the ground and they go pop. We found a whole bunch of them out front one day. It's like, yeah, that's what's going on. So I think they're out back doing that right now. Our back door has a little bit of a gap, so we hear things in the wind comes in a little bit sometimes and all of that. Yes, because hello, Sneakies. Sneaky says hello, everyone. All right, so we are picking flowers, but if we wanted to, we could engage with, this flower first. One of the 2, there's 2 encounters that you could get in this instance, and one of them is over here, kind of just off to the side, not too far from where the banner is that you need to click on with the bees. Oh, let me make sure that's not covering up. Sorry, y'all, if that was. Ha! Sneaky's put a bee in the chat. I like it. Okay, so we did that, and now the bees are ready for us. So we're going to click on the banner. And a reminder that we have a giveaway going on. So if you are interested in winning one of these fancy little spirit bears, and it is an account-wide code, so every one of your characters is going to get one, including future characters. So it's really kind of fun. I have this now, and so anytime I make a new character, like, I get all this stuff in my inventory now. It's quite wacky, including a spirit bear. So every one of my characters gets one of these. So you could have that same thing where every one of your characters can get one also. It's nice. I like it. I like it because that way my characters always have like a few cosmetic pets to start with. So I've got some options, for them to play with if as they're getting started. Now, I don't always need a cosmetic pet. I mean, sometimes it's better just not to have anything in the way, but, it's nice to have sometimes. Oh, wow, we got a whole bunch of flowers over here. But first, we got to deal with these goats. We totes got to deal with the goats. So, yes, hit exclamation point giveaway if you want in on that giveaway while I get head-butted by these goats. And I drink out of my Deco de Mew mug. I love this mug. Hi, kitty cat. Apparently there's a new version of this mug, though, where it's got like kind of a dark inside. And I kind of want one of those, so I may have to like donate the next time they come around. So like once a year, Yao, who runs the Deco de Mew website, he does like a, hey, help me keep the servers up and running, kind of fundraiser sort of thing. And if you donate a certain amount, you just automatically get a mug. And I'm like, yes, I will absolutely do that because I find his services are totally worth supporting, and I get a mug as well. I'm like, I'm down. I saw there's a question in the chat. Do I have the XP stopper? I mean, technically I do, which, you know, technically is always correct, right? So technically I do have a Stone of the Tortoise, like I own one. However, I'm playing on Treebeard, as listed up at the top there, and Treebeard is a slow progression server. So our server cap is level 75 right now. So that is why my character is level 75, because you cannot get any higher, and we've been questing and doing lots of good stuff. And so our group are in the 70s, 70 to 75 range, all of the folks that we're weekly questing with. What's slow progression, asks Megan. It has a number of things to it. Yes, we definitely get less XP. So let's see, where is it? Here it is. So I have an effect that's on me with this little white background with the heart in the middle. It says story pace. It says earned character experience is modified to be in tune with the story. So, and then in green letters, it says you are earning 40% of experience gains from monster quests, monster kills, crafting, and quest completions. So on a regular server, you're getting 100%, and over here, I'm getting 40% of that experience. So, yeah, it's really great because I will, well, yeah, just like Megan says, thank you, you have words. Megan says, oh, that's really cool. I bet you get to complete more quests before you outlevel them. Exactly, that's exactly what happens. That's been part of the really fun part of being on this server. Another fun thing about this server is that they don't open up everything at once. Like, say you start a new character on, let's say, Crick Hollow. Everything that has existed in the game up to that point. Oof, these guys really hurting me here. And I'm stunned. Well, it's a good thing you're a minstrel and you can res me if you need to. Yeah, everything that's existed in the game is available. So, for example, well, this is not necessarily a great example, but yeah, like if I go, here's the map, you know, Gondor, Mordor, you know, Rohan, Rovanian, all of this stuff is open, is already available on that server, and you're like this little level 5 character, and you're like, okay, it's a big world, right? Whereas on this server, when it started, we had only, let me scooch back over here to here, only Eriador. So when the server opened, only Eriador was open to us. So you could do all the quests in, you know, in Bree and the Shire and Ered Luin, North Downs, Trollshaws, Swanfleet, Lone Lands. Like, you could do all of this area. But that would be basically as far as you could go. Even Moria wasn't open yet. So you could be like, hey, what's that over there? But you couldn't go into Moria yet. You couldn't do those quests, nothing like that. So every 5 to 6 months, they will then release the next expansion that came in order, basically. So, you know, first we had Eriador, and we had our level cap of level 50. The whole server was capped to level 50. Nobody's above level 50. And then, and we had that for like 6 months. And then they opened up Moria. And so we had the whole Moria expansion, including going into, let's see, Walls of Moria. We did Walls of Moria, and Lothlorien. Those were part of the same expansion when it first came out. So did all of that. And that took us up to level 60. And then, like 5, 6 months later, they opened up Mirkwood. So the what's it called? The something of Mirkwood, the Siege of Mirkwood was the name of the expansion when it came out. And so then we had all of the Mirkwood stuff. And then they then opened, just recently, we have not Rohan, but we have Rise of Isengard, which includes Dunland. So we've gotten to go do a whole bunch of Dunland stuff, and this Gap of Rohan area, and the Isengard space. So all this Isengard stuff. So that's been really cool because, like, the first number of times I've gone through this story, you find yourself just zooming along. Like, you'll finish a thing and you're like, okay, where's the next quest? Okay, where's the next one? Oh, where's the next one? Where's the next one? And it just keeps you rolling and rolling and rolling. And by not having access to the next stuff, basically what we're doing is we're spending a lot of time just really immersing ourselves in what's going on in these spaces. And it's helping me get like a better understanding of where the story is and how it connects and how an area, like, I'm getting the flavor and the feeling of an area a lot more than I do on the regular servers, where you're just like zoom, 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 and you don't stop for any reason, because why would you, right? There's no reason to stop. Whereas here, we kind of are forced to stop because that's as far as we got. So that's like a really long version of what does this slow progression mean, but that's what's happening over here, and I'm just loving it. So let's see. Okay, so I see a lot of questions, a lot of conversations. Let me see if there's anything else I missed. So B4 posted some links that explain a little bit more about the legendary worlds, legendary servers. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. That on this server, so this one, which is Treebeard, which is slow, and then they also open another server called Shadowfax, which is super fast. So instead of 100%, you're getting 150% of experience for all those things. So it's like zoom, zoom, zoom. You know, we should probably figure out where the bees are, because I've not had them get defeated before, but wouldn't that be a bummer if this was the first time? Oops, that's the Nika Breaker. I don't want that. Oh, I guess we're doing the Nika Breaker. It's a nagging Nika Breaker. All right, let's take care of this Nika first. So when they opened up Shadowfax and Treebeard, which they did this at the same time, there's a thing. Oh yeah, these bees haven't lost any health, have they? A teeny bit, maybe. Okay, cool. We'll take care of the goats. They added in a thing, a difficulty option that you can do. So before you get, well, while you're out and about, there's a dude standing around that you can talk to, and basically he says, hey, would you like to make things more difficult? And you're like, yes, I would, please, thank you very much. And you can choose to run anywhere from kind of like, hey, make this a little harder, to, okay, give me some challenge, to, yes, let's make things as, you know, more deadly, to let's make things as absolutely deadly as we possibly can. So we are playing on what's called deadly difficulty, which is where you get these red boxes on the ground that you just saw there. But we are running it deadly +0, which is the lowest of the deadly options. You can go all the way up to +6, which is, yeah, we toyed around with some of that stuff. But +0 is, for me, I quite enjoy the experience. So, whoops. Yeah, there was a box that was around me, a small one, that showed me that there was a large box around me, and I did not get out in time, so you see I took a damage. Oops, there's goats. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's see. What's happening? What else to say? So Tellurian says, I recently created a character on Volroar just to test and found out that my inventory is too small for all the account-wide stuff to be delivered in a single login. That's hilarious. So yeah, we talked about slower progression. Megan says, yeah, you were leveling out of a lot of quests on another server. Exactly. And so that's why you do end up getting that Stone of the Tortoise, right? Because it stops all of your progression. You get nothing, but it takes up pocket space. So you lose the ability to have stats in that location, which is kind of a bummer. Now there's a couple new pocket items they've been toying with of late. And that have the XP disabling, but also give you some stats, and I think that's kind of cool. But that seems to be kind of a newer thing that they're playing with. So for now, mostly you just buy that Stone of the Tortoise, which you can get in the LOTRO store, and it's like 99 LOTRO points. So Egg Arthur does point out that that with the slower release schedule that Treebeard has, it will take us a long time to catch up to live, if ever. We will. We'll catch up to the regular servers. Yes, I'm sure we will eventually. Yes, before it does point out that SSG would seriously have to speed up major releases to outpace the Treebeard forever, because the SSG tends to do a major release every year, maybe 2 years or so, and we're getting the next one every 5 to 6 months. So we'll catch up. I think it was 2028 last time I did the math. Yes, and they could slow down Treebeard, which I would be okay with that, but there we are. Yeah, as a B4 would also be okay with that, he mentions. Let's see. Mubot again reminds us that SSG and the Game Masters will never ask you for your password, and please do not click on any suspicious links that are posted in World Chat, so please do be safe. That's always very important. Yeah, Telerian says that I expected them to take smaller steps in opening the regions. Yeah, I think it was just easier for them to be like, expansion, yes, no, turn it on kind of thing, rather than to parse it out, is my guess. Because, yeah, B4 says that, yeah, I imagine Ithil and Anor, which were two legendary servers that existed before these, set the precedent for what size chunks do they come out as they go. Okay, so let's see. Giveaway the Spirit Bear account wide. We're about to close that. So this is your last chance to type exclamation point giveaway into the chat if you want to enter to win that. Let's see. Telerian mentions that, yeah, Eriador, then Moria, then Lorien, and with Lothlorien, then Mirkwood with Ended Waith, and then Dunlin, and the Great River, and so on. Those are the kind of, yeah, the progression that of the expansions. And the wiki has a great link where it mentions each one of the expansions. And then there's also a page on the wiki for legendary servers, and it tells when each of these expansions has come out on which legendary server. So that's really cool. Aaron Bard asks, are there role-playing things that happen on a slow progression server? Not as much. I mean, we kind of light roleplay in the sense that we're like always running around as hobbits, and we're kind of interacting with people as though we're hobbits, and we talk about how tall they are and, you know, things like that. But the kind of roleplay that you get like on Laurelin, like Green Dragon Friday, or I forget what it's called, but like the Elf Gathering in the Room of Fire in Rivendell, where they tell stories, you don't really get that level of role-playing immersion on here that I've seen. Yeah, it's, yeah. Part of it is because like Laurelin's been a server for almost 16 years now. And so you've had that time to create that community and foster it over time. And, you know, as people come and go, you've got the ability to have other people step in and help to keep that and maintain that. And just the number, the breadth and depth of the number of players that you have is so much bigger than Treebeard, which will have been open for 2 years in June, at the end of June. So it's a very different kind of setup. So cool. So we have a winner. Kalderdog has been drawn. For some reason that feels like that's Dutch, because of the dock at the end, I think. Anyway, so yes, congratulations for your spirit bearer. I'm sure you and B4 are working on your whispering in the background there. Let's see. Awesome. Yes, so Telerian mentions, yeah, we're not jumping from level cap to level cap per se, but just from update to update. But you just, like, when we got Moria, that opened up 10 more levels, and we kind of filled those in reasonably quickly. And then when we got Mirkwood, it only opened us from 60 to 65, and those 5 levels went really fast, really. Yeah, but it was still fun because you're like, ooh, I'm getting levels. Let's see. Somebody said they were playing and got to level 78. Sorry, it scrolled by. Now I've lost it. Oh well. Let's see. Oh yeah. Sneaky says, yeah, when people ask about the game, first thing you tell people is take their time. Don't be in a rush to get to the end game. Yeah, there's so much to see. And I absolutely agree. That's one of the reasons why I love the server, because it's full of other people who have that kind of same perspective. Like once in a while you'll have people that are like, hey, first to 90 or whatever. And you're like, who cares? Like, that's not why we're here. Yeah, and so then, yeah, you've got, as like Arthur points out, higher population servers like Evernight, Arkenstone. They have lots of people running around at Endgame and doing the PvMP and stuff like that. Let's see, talking about how many people on like populations and busy servers and oh yeah, before I mentioned that stone of the tortoise, there's a flowing silver stone of the tortoise, and before I posted a link which combines that XP stopping along with some statistics, which is nice. Kelderdog asked what happens when this server catches up. Do they wipe the server? And Arthur, yeah, they offer free transfers for a time and then they wipe it out. So yes, that is what we have seen so far. That's what they did with Ithel. That's what they did with Honor. I think that's their plan with Shadowfax. So basically, once we hit whatever the cap is for all the other regular servers, they'll be like, okay, you can now leave for free. And then we're going to close this down and you cannot get to these characters ever again. So, yeah, so it's kind of, it's interesting because you end up with kind of a little bit of a community where you see the same people over and over again and all of that. And so I know when Honor was closing, like some folks put together like a poll and were saying, hey, where's everybody going to go? And, you know, trying to keep some of that community together. So that's really nice. I thought that was really cool. So I'm sure we'll do that when Treebeard, you know, when we get to that point in Treebeard on like, you know, what's it, like 5 years from now or whatever. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see. And something about server consolidation. Did the giveaway. Okay, I'm about caught up now. Okay, I'm almost caught up now. I thought I was. Okay, so now we're going to do a big giveaway. So this one is for 500 LOTRO points. So that's huge. And to me, that's huge. Like, I won 500 LOTRO points, like, I don't know, about a year into playing or so. And I was just like over the moon. I just thought that was the best thing I'd ever gotten. So, so yes, you need to be present to win. You need to be here and be able to whisper with B4 in order to get the code. But if you want to be in on that, type exclamation point giveaway. If you want to be in for this giveaway for 500 LOTRO points. Yeah, so there we go. Delirian says when Shadowfax level cap went to 130, 1 hour after that happened, they saw the first character at level 130. That is so funny. Yeah, that's hilarious. The well, but Shadowfax, kind of its point is to go really fast, and so I think, yeah, I think that was kind of like that. Kind of makes sense to see somebody who's done that already, but I think it is funny. Yeah. That people are like, zoom. But that's the whole point. Because on these legendary servers, there's sometimes like, there's some legendary server specific titles and cosmetics and some housing items that you can only get on the legendary servers. So I could see why somebody might go to Shadowfax, for example, and play and try to get all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So that would make sense. That would make sense. All right, so I am going to go ahead and click on the banner here. Oh, Sneakies, I think you got squashed. Something you said, Moobot did not like it. So just keep an eye on that. All right, so I've gone ahead and clicked this. And what's really cool is because we finished all these little purple blue flowers popped up. It's so cute. I love it.
Sneakies has corrected it.
Thank you, Sneakies, for correcting your stuff. Yes, those people are the first ones to complain that there's nothing to do. Which, yes, and I, again, find that ironic. All right, so we're going to follow the bees back to the beginning. Their work here is done. So I'm going to Sneaky's point, it was really funny because on Honor, we did see that and Honor's expansions were about every 3 to 4 months that we'd get the next expansion. And people would zoom to the top, you know, when something new would open up, and then they'd be like, okay, I got nothing to do. And it's like, well, did you do every single quest in the area? Did you do all the deeds? Did you explore everywhere? Like, Or did you just like go put on the XP expand, go faster, add all these XP bonuses, buy all the XP perks and just like zoom, zoom, zoom to the top, turn in a bunch of quests all at once that you've been sitting on. Because people are doing that. They will pile up a whole bunch of quests that they're ready to turn in. And then as soon as it opens to the next one, they would turn all of those in. So their XP would just be like really fast. And it's like, I mean, that is one way to play the game, but then don't complain you got nothing to do because you're just gaming the game for no reason. Like nobody cares except for you and 4 other people who are like, I'm first. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought it was really funny. So I think this is my theory, just based on like if I were running a business, if I were king of the forest, this is what I would do. Take what you were getting from Honor, which was pretty much there were 2 voices that were coming out of Honor, and like when Cordovan, who is the community manager, and he does stream here on Fridays at noon Eastern time, even with the clock changing, it's still noon Eastern US time, and he does work for SSG, so he's able to provide stuff that is like, yes, this comes from SSG. And so on Fridays, people in the chat from Honor would basically either be saying 2 things. They'd be like, please, can you go faster? We're bored on Honor. We need more. We need to get to the next thing. Or you'd have people, and this is the camp I was in, who were like, please don't go any faster. I can't keep up with it as it is, right? And so I think they heard those 2 very strong and very hard to reconcile, voices, and said, okay, how do we satisfy these people? Let's do 2 servers. And they were already thinking about doing, I think, playing with this difficulty thing. And so they're like, hey, let's do legendary servers with the difficulty thing. And let's do one that's super fast, that's Shadowfax. And we'll do one that's super slow, and that's Treebeard. And that way, that satisfies all of those people. I think that's what, how we ended up with Shadowfax and Treebeard. Makes absolute total sense to me. Right? Egg Arthur does point out that the XP disabler, that flowing silver stone of the tortoise, there you get one of them that has stats and one of them that has stats and the XP disabling. So you get 2 versions of that with that expansion, which is if you buy that, which is really cool. I love that. So Tellurian says, I wonder what the reaction of the community would be like if the next level cap increase was in smaller steps. So like the next expansion would give us 10 more levels on the day of release, only 1 would be available, and each character would get another level increase for each quested region, for each 4 hours played. You get 1 level per week, something like that. That would be really wild, and it would blow people's minds. I love the idea, though. I do love that idea. Yeah, Cool Witch says, I don't even have a character on max on a live server. I definitely take my time. Yeah, and like B4 says, I caught up to 130 once for a few weeks, and then they raised the cap to 140, and we're like, okay, now we're behind again. So yeah, it was pretty funny. And B4 did post a map if you get lost in B's Big Business, where we just were, because the map, if you look at it, we're here, but it doesn't give you like the key points on the map. For this instance. So if you do get lost, there is a map of the route that the bees take, the location of the banners, and those 2 encounters. And there's a link there to the LOTRO wiki with that. Okay, speaking of, we're back at base camp, and Grimbjorn is ready to talk to us, but we're not ready to talk to him. 2 things we need to do before that. 1, we've got this bonus quest, which was to pick flowers to give to the dogs. So we're doing that. I think the dogs are going to take them to his wife. I'm not sure I catch all how that goes, but there we go. This guy says rough. Let's see. Bud says yip. Rose says wolf. And Sprout said something different. So there we go. So I completed Beautiful Bouquet, which was one of my optional once-a-day quests. Did that. Now you see this floral basket here. Time to draw a winner, Ghost Bear. Oh. That's old. And actually, I think I'm going to dismiss my Ghost Bear. So let's put out a cat for now. Okay, cool. Because he's kind of in the way of me looking at the basket. Scoochie, scoochie bear. Thank you. There we go. So this floral basket. Okay, this floral basket is very important. When you run an instance that is one of the festival instances, you will have a chest at the end, and it has your festivity tokens. And this is the only way to get festivity tokens is through these instances out of that chest. So make sure you don't leave before you pick up that chest. It's really important. In this case, the floral basket is that chest. So once we click on that, it's going to go festivity tokens. What?
I just got my Aurochs to stand on it.
Nah, I didn't want your Aurochs to stand on it. Now, in my... Abigail's crying because the Aurochs can no longer stand on the floral chest. In my general output, I have a thing that says floral basket resets in 0 days, 13 hours, and 57 minutes. I also can see now on my raid locks, floral basket, 0 days, 13 hours, 57 minutes. So that's the floral basket for a 2-person, 2/3 sized group. I can come back in and do this as a solo, and I'll have that basket again. And I can come back in and do this as a 6-person, and that basket will be there again. And in fact, we're going to do that. So I'm going to talk to Grimbjorn. He's going to say, what took you so long? Did you stop and smell each and every flower? Haha, just some morning humor, my friend. I'm glad you've returned my bees to me. He turns to the bees and asks them if they had a grand meal, and he says, I'm sure you did. And we travel now, because we have all of our stuff. Ba-da! So what do you do with those festivity tokens, I hear you asking? I mean, maybe you're not, but you should be, right? Because that just was a good question. So you want to talk to Verbena Greenhand. And for spring, she's standing here by this big, tall pillar. Not too far from Sergeant Tom, just over the way there. So Verbena says, hey, I'll take your festivity tokens, and I've got this stuff for you. So she has, what's the difference? The 2 new things for this year are the Cosmetic Shield of New Growth, which looks like this. I'm not a big shield person, so it's not my jam, but there you go. It's got a cute little new growth in the center. And then there's also the Tome of the Adorable Sicklefly, which I did pick up. So let's find my Sicklefly. There's my adorable Sicklefly, and he's flying right there. There you go. Snookums. I think he's named after the one that's in the Lowlands. Or, yeah, right? Lowlands? So, there you go. There's, oh, let me see, maybe I put him this way. There we go. There's my adorable little thing. Oh, Arcos Ren says, gotta run unexpectedly, have to lurk. If you get picked on this drawing, just redraw. Oh, okay, no problem. Telerian asks, isn't the chess share solo duo, small fellowship, and fellowship? That is a great question. It is not consistent across all the festivals, from what I recall. So I end up, once I figure it out, I have gone and edited the wiki because I have that ability, and made sure that the wiki is correct. So don't necessarily rely on my words right now. Check the wiki. The wiki knows all. The wiki says there are different raid chest locks for Bees Big Business: solo, duo/small fellowship, and fellowship. So those are the 3 chests that we have access to for Bees Big Business. So, for example, we're going to go ahead and run a 6-person, and down here to Instance Finder, and I'm going to Bees Big Business, but we're going to run it as a 6 because we just ran it as a duo, which counts then for the small fellowship. So if I ran this as a 3, it would be no good for us. It'd be a waste of our time. I mean, unless I really wanted to go back in there and be like, cool, isn't that fun? But I'm going to run it at level 10 because I just want the festivity tokens. That's all that I want. So here we go. Are those unlocks per character? Yes. So if I alt to another character, I could come in and get those festivity tokens for a different character. The difference is that each character's festivity tokens are bound to just them. So you would not be able to share those festivity tokens, which is probably a good thing because there is a cap of 40 on that. Yeah, right? Let me double check that. Actually, because method is shared. Yeah, festivity tokens are yours and yours alone. Yep. And it has a cap of 40. So each character can, has their own cap. Okay, so notice that Grimbjorn is standing here, and he has one quest for us. And that's basically see if the bees are ready to go. So we're going to do that. And the bees are here. Oh, you know what? I don't need that guy. We're going to get rid of that guy. Okay, cool. You have the blood bat. Nice. We tend to collect all of the cosmetic bits. So there's no flowers to collect. Already did that today. Don't get to do it again. Just following the bees. The bees are going to take us on a little tour. We're doing this as a large group, so as a fellowship, so a 6-person size. But the goats are level 10. So this should go a lot. This should go pretty fast. Oh, the bat's mine. I picked the bat by mistake. Oops. Hello. Let me put the... I didn't mean to put the bat on. But that's okay. Bat can follow me for a minute. Let's see. Yeah, so Telerian, definitely check the wiki for each one of those the chest size, because like the summer one, there's a 12-person option, which has its own, of course. Okay, so the bees are doing some pollinating. Let me get rid of this bat. That's distracting me. All right, there we go. The bees have pollinated the first glade. Hooray! Oh, Telerian, thank you for posting in there. I know there was a question of how long does the festival last. And yes, from the 9th of March at 10 a.m. till the 28th of March at 3 a.m. And that's Eastern Time, U.S. Eastern. But yeah, so basically because it ends at 3 a.m., your last full day is the 27th. So that's really what you want to be paying attention. Like, consider the 27th is your last day. Your last full day of being able to do festival. Oh, that absolutely does remind me, though. There is a goodie that you get for doing 12 days of the festival. It finishes off like the mega wrapper. But that goodie, there's an issue, and it's not bestowing right now. So they're going to fix it, and it'll be on basically day 13 of the festival. So if you are, oh dang, wait, give me power. There we go. Not power, the other thing. That's it. If you are doing the festival every day, don't turn in your final wrapper until they fix that, because if you won't, there's no retro getting it. Let me see here in the quest log if I have that. Not special. Spring festival. My fistful of flowers ends in 2 minutes. Remember we started that at the beginning of the stream? Hang on. Oh, festival. Bustling Bloom, that's the... Oh, you know what? I'm not going to have it because I'm not that far along in the Spring Festival. But basically, this one, the Splendor of Spring, there's the Bustling Bloom intro, and then the Bustling Bloom, like, intermediate, and then Bustling Bloom final, or something like that. And it says there are 12 days of a Bustling Bloom and a Taste of Spring participation quest. Plan accordingly. And it's not listed here because I would need Bustling Bloom final. There's like a token, or I forget what it is. But anyway, it won't be fixed until like day 13. So just wait to turn in your final until that's fixed. There's your PSA for the day. Cool, Moobot, thank you. There is, Spring Festival dates. We have Fibro Jedi's Guide, which, as I mentioned earlier, Fibro Jedi's stuff is fantastic. I actually support him on Patreon because I think his stuff is absolutely worth it. He's such a fantastic resource for this community, and I love his guides. And, recently he put out a guide for skirmish soldiers, which you only get in skirmishes, and we're in an instance, so I don't have a skirmish soldier. But you can make your skirmish soldier... He explained how you use them, first of all. And then he also did like a whole thing on what the skirmish soldier can look like, and that was kind of a request I made because I love picking out different things about how my skirmish soldier can look. But there's so many options in there, and I can never remember, like, what does this look like? What does that look like? What does that mean? What does this mean? Like, you know, if it's, what is this outfit mentioned? What is this? And so there's just too many options, and I don't know what they mean, and I haven't gone through the process of buying, oops, what happened there? Okay, of buying every single cosmetic option for my skirmish soldier so I could compare them, right? But he went ahead and did that for his skirmish soldier update, and I'm like, oh, so wonderful. I'm so happy about that. So yeah, that is like, so that's what I mean. Like, Five Row Jedi just does some awesome stuff for the community. So there's a link to his Spring Festival guide. There's also a link to the LOTRO Wiki, which is, like I said earlier, like my other massive go-to for anything having to do with LOTRO, basically, in general. Like, all the details are there. And, you know, I'm not only a, what is it, a member, I'm also, or not only the owner, I'm also a member, or something, whatever like that. You know, the hair for men thing. Yes, I am such a fan of the LOTRO Wiki that I have, yeah, started, I've learned how to go and make the updates, and, you know, and I just tweak little things, though, because I still don't want to break something by mistake. But thankfully, before, with his programming knowledge, sometimes I'll be like, do I do this here, or do I do this here, or what? And he's like, yeah, you just do it there. It's like, okay, cool. Look, it's those blue flowers again. They're so cute. Love it. Yeah, so the LOTRO Wiki is also fantastic, and I'm very happy to support that with my time and making it even, you know, better and adding things as they come up. So, like, for example, the legendary, the information about the things you can earn on legendary servers wasn't complete because, you know, basically from the people who are playing on Anor, you need kind of an intersection. This is when Anor and Ithil were the only legendary servers. That basically you need kind of like an intersection of somebody who's playing on those servers and has gotten to that level of where you find that information, and is also, you know, an editor or modifier of some fashion of the LOTRO Wiki. And we just hadn't had enough of that overlap, I think. So before, and I have been making a lot of more of those updates as we were going through stuff on here to catch that up. So, like, that's been great. I've been so happy because sometimes I forget. Like, I go through something and then I forget what it was, and I'm like, oh, how did I get that, or where did that come from? And you can just look it up on the wiki. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. So it's fantastic. I love it. Let's see. So Edgar Arthur says, I would still love to see a simple in-game events calendar. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah, doesn't need to be burdened with the player-led events or anything like that, just to say what is happening when. Absolutely. Like, that'd be so nice. Be like, this festival is happening now, it ends later. The next festival is happening then, it ends this time. Like, all of that would be so good. Okay, so the bees are done. We're heading back with them. We're looking for this gap here in the tall reeds. And then you come around past this little building, and there's this other building, and that's where everybody is. So remember, don't talk to Grimbjorn yet. He's going to send you away. Remember the important thing you have to do, the floral basket, because, and we'll go back to this. So I have the floral basket, which we know we did at a 2-player size. So I'm going to pick up the basket here, get my festivity tokens, and now you say I have 2 floral basket locks. Annoyingly, it doesn't tell you which one is which. So you kind of have to remember, hey, what did I just run? Or what have I run today? Because it just says floral basket. Now, we're here on stream, we've been talking about it, so we know we did the 2-3 and we did the 6. So, yeah, it doesn't tell me anything here in the group stage, in the group blocks. So, all right, now I'm gonna go. Grimbjorn says, what took you so long? Did you smell every flower? Ha 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 ha, a little fun joke for you. Yeah, okay, and now I'm back out. So I can look at Verbena, be like, hey, how many do I have? I have 30. Remember, our cap is 40. So I've still got room to do 2 more. Now, a quick point. we were talking about the different tortoise stones and things like that earlier. There also have been some fun toolkits that SSG has put out. And under the Fate of Gundabad expansion, if you bought the ultimate one, which was the bigger one, the biggest one, the Fateful Toolkit came with that, which gives you plus 10% wallet barter tokens for festival and landscape through Gundabad. So anytime I do like these festival quests that are happening, I get not 5 tokens but 6, or I get not 1 token but 2 of the festival leaves. But the Fateful Toolkit does not apply to festivity tokens. So every time I'm getting 5, I'm just getting 5, just like everybody else. So just wanted to mention that in case you were like, have the Fateful Toolkit and you're like really excited about using it, because trust me, like I'm a festival person, so I love getting all the bonus stuff. But yeah, just keep that in mind that there is that slight detail there. Okay. Lady Nori, welcome to the chat and to the giveaway. Yes, and just a reminder, yes, we are giving away 500 LOTRO points here on the stream. So that is the current giveaway. So put exclamation point giveaway into the chat if you wish to enter. If you've already done it since this opened, then you're in. If you did that exclamation point giveaway on a previous one, those are wiped, and so you enter separately for each one. So just FYI. And Theodoric also says good evening. So good evening to the folks who are just popping their heads up. Lady Nori says, how much did Gundabad content cost? I don't know, but I can tell you, and I'll bet you before we'll grab a link at some point, that the expansions, as they've come out, what I've noticed is they tend to be like 20 money units, so dollars, euros, whatever, for like just the content. And then if you want the content plus some of the goodies, that seems to be about 50. And if you want the content plus like a big bunch of goodies, then that one's usually around 99, 100, like that kind of range. So, yeah, so, and Lady Nori, you said you never got to the end game, at least not yet. We're in the same position. Actually, when Anor was closing, we were playing on Anor, we had Anor characters. We did rush through just the epic line, because we hadn't been into Mordor, we hadn't been into like all of that whole, what is it, I forget, something of something, Mordor, the Plateau of Gorgoroth. We hadn't been into the Plateau of Gorgoroth. We hadn't spent any time there. Like we hadn't done, after the ring, we hadn't done any of that content, right? And so we really wanted to see what that looked like. And also there were titles and things you could get on the Legendary server at those different levels that you can only get on the Legendary server. And we're like, we're going to be a long time before we get there here. So we wanted to run through and get that. So we finished, we got our characters up to like, I don't know, 125 or something before the server closed. So we didn't get to cap either. Or endgame, any of that. But when the expansions come out, I do keep buying them. And it's kind of like, we don't do like big birthday gifts or, holiday gifts or anything like that. But what we do is when there's something that brings us a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, like we go ahead and make that a gift to ourselves in a way. And so LOTRO expansions have kind of become that for us. They kind of fill that warm fuzzy spot. So when the expansions have come out, we usually buy, like, I like to get the biggest one because I like all the pets, I like all the steeds, I like the cosmetics. Like this, actually this came out of a bundle that they did recently that had mithril coins, but it also came with some armor or some cosmetic armor, and it also came with some cosmetic pets. So I was like, I really wanted the pets because I love cats, and so we did that. I did that. So yeah. Now, if you are not as much of a collector as I am, or you prefer to spend your money on other things, and absolutely understandable, then you can wait to get a lot of these things and buy them, not the bundles, but just the content will be available in the LOTRO store. It seems to be about 6 months after the expansion comes out. You end up being able to buy it in the LOTRO store in game for LOTRO points. So if you're like stacking up your LOTRO points, you know, doing deeds and just kind of sitting on them and, you know, like a dragon sitting on their pile of gold, you know, you can then use those to buy the expansions in the game without having to spend any like real life money. So I do really love that. Like I've been playing games on my phone recently, and a lot of them are like, you know, hey, spend this, you know, $20 to go get these gems so you can make your game go faster. I'm like, no, how do I do this in game? And so I really appreciate how LOTRO does make it available that you can buy stuff for, you know, real life money, or you can buy the content and it's all there and it's available for you for LOTRO points. You just have to wait a little longer. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So yeah, let's see. So the prices, yeah, people are putting how much it was in the chat, and oh yeah. And Agartha does point out though with these most two recent expansions, and this is something they've said they want to keep doing forward, is that you can buy one, and then if you're like, oh, I really wish I had the next one up, or oh, now I have the money for the, you know, the difference between them, you can upgrade. So you don't have to like buy it and then buy it a second time, buy it a third time. Like you can just buy like the beginner and then upgrade to the middle one, and you just pay the difference. And then you can upgrade to the high one, you just pay the difference. So that is really cool. I think that's awesome that you can do that. So Lady Nori says you've been playing since the closed beta. That's awesome. And you're coming back. Well, nice. Welcome back. These streams are available for you to ask questions, and like if you are like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like what's changed? Like absolutely feel free to drop these questions into the chat, because there's a bunch of people here who've been playing all sorts of different time frames, and LOTRO is so big. There's no way that any one person can know everything. So this is a great place to come and ask those questions, and you know, and people can take their different pieces of knowledge that they have and kind of help fill in the gaps for you. So absolutely feel free to ask questions and stuff in here. Hey, we need to pull that giveaway, don't we?
Yeah.
All right. So let me stop with the chit chat for a second and let's go ahead. Okay, so this is your 60-second warning that if you want to be in the giveaway for 500 LOTRO points, put exclamation point giveaway into the chat, and we are going to pull that here in like 45 seconds now. So yes, Lady Nora, you love cosmetics in the game. I hear you. My wardrobe, they just gave us the opportunity to purchase more wardrobe spaces. It was like for a limited time or something. I'm like, I'm on it. So I'm up to 370, which is like the max you can get. And 344 is what I'm at currently. I'm trying to leave some room because like every festival, you know, they come, well, not every festival, but they often come out with new cosmetics. And I'm like, well, I want to make sure I have room for more stuff, you know. Oh, Lady Nori, the last time I played, traceries weren't even a thing. No clue what those even are. Yeah. Something you don't need to worry about until you get to getting your legendary items. So keep that in mind. And we'll come back to that in a second because I think it is time to do a drawing. A little drum roll there, right? That's my version of a drum roll. All right. The giveaway is now closed. And Noodle Fried, you have been drawn from the giveaway for 500 LOTRO points. Pop up in the chat, let us know that you're here. And then you and B4 can do a whisper with each other, and he will get you the code for those 500 LOTRO points. So, yay, there we go. Awesome. Thank you for the announcement there. Lady Nori, when you get to the traceries, yeah, there's definitely some good videos out there. The wiki does try to explain it, but basically, here's your short version, is that legendary items now, like can scale with you. So we don't anymore do what we call affectionately the wood chipper model, which was, and this SSG doesn't use that term as far as I know. This is just us. That we would joke that basically, you know how you'd go like a couple of levels, like 5 or 10 levels, and you're like, all right, this legendary item was great, but chuck that away. I want this one now. Like, and you just keep cycling through them, and you like break it apart and make a new one, and it felt a little weird, right? It's like you're not gonna take Sting and be like, well, this was great, but I'm done with this. I'm just gonna throw that in the trash heap, maybe keep the handle, and be like, let me get a new one. It's like, no, you wouldn't do that at all. So they needed to redo the legendary items anyway, because basically when it came out, like, it came out what, for level 50 to 60 characters, right? And now the cap is like level 140, and they kept trying to like modify it as it went, but it wasn't quite there, right? Like, so it needed to be redone. So that's what they've done, and it's kind of an iterative process. So there may still be yet some small changes here and there. Like, for example, there's some toolkit thingies that you still get as a drop that you used to use with the old legendary items that you don't anymore, but yet they're just sitting in my wallet. I assume at some point they're going to address those. So there's that. So yes, Egg Arthur says the simple version is legendary items like this thing you see here, which is my sword. They have slots. So this is a slot, this is a slot, this is a slot. Each one of these little boxes that you see, these little squares, these are slots. Bonk, 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 bonk. They're open. They're empty. So it's just like those like cloaks and various things that you would get where you'd be like, oh yeah, I need to slot I don't have one on me right now, but where you'd be throwing those different, what were those things? Anyway, those things on there. It's like the same idea. Nay, not that. Essences. Like when you get like a cloak and it's got like 2 or 3 open bumps, and you like take an essence of will or an essence of defense, whatever, and it just bumps it up. It's that same kind of idea with a little twist. So there you go. Oh yeah. So it's the same kind of idea. So like here's a cloak where somebody's put a minor essence of tactical mastery on it and a major essence of vitality. Okay, so it's like that kind of idea. But let's like put some extra muscle on it. So that's what you've got going on here. So each one of these was a separate open spot. In fact, I have an empty spot there. What did oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Guess what I'll be doing after the stream? I guess I could wait and do it on the stream next week. All right, give me a few minutes. I might do that. I don't know if I have the brain power to do this right now, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, each one of these slots, there's 4 categories. So this slot here is a heraldic tracery. You only get one of those slots. So you pick something that goes in there, and it might have agility or it might have might or whatever. And I think your question was, is it RNG or do you pick? You pick. You get to pick what you put in these spots. There's a library in Rivendell that you go to, and you get to buy the stuff there. Oh, good. Telerian says, since we discussed this earlier, just a sidestep, about the chest lock for Bee's Big Business, can confirm your statement, Duo and Small Fellowship share cooldown is correct. It is strange, since most other instances, Duo is paired with Solo, which is why I put it on the wiki, because I want it to be absolutely correct, because it's so weird. But yeah, okay. Egg Arthur mentions that like you can't pick things that are outside of your class. For example, like this damage over time criticals, that's a word of power. Actually, word of power, anybody can buy. Word of mastery. Mastery stuff is your own class. So I have currently Rain of Arrows, Induction Bow, and this empty one. So I currently have 3 word of mastery slots on this item that I can pick whatever I want to go into those spots. And those are going to be hunter specific things. So that's really cool. And then the 4th category you have is this type as word of craft. And it's, yeah, you just, you pick whichever one makes sense to you. I go to LOTRO HQ, like LOTROHQ.com, to help me out, because I'm like, there's a lot of options and I need to figure out what I want to do. Now, you can go to that library and you can buy the stuff. The currency you use for that is, bollocks, I just forgot. Oh, what is it? Y'all. Ancient script, thank you. Whoa, I'm typing in all caps. I'm yelling! Sorry. Okay, so ancient script is the currency that you use in that library to buy the things that go into these slots. Okay, so that's one thing. Just kind of put that aside so you have that knowledge. Oh, and also, for example, here's what... let me get rid of that now. I cannot. I don't know what I've done. That's so funny. Go away. This is what a portion of Affadil's minstrel sword looks like, just if you wanted to see a difference. It may be a little bit small to read on the screen there, but so for example, piercing cry, anthem of ward, prowess, ascendant light, so different things like that. Okay, so do you remember when you used to have a legendary item and you would do quests and things and it would give you legendary item experience? Well, that experience no longer goes to this thing. It is the same level as you, basically. Every so often you want to reforge it, like every 5 levels, and it opens up more of these spots from time to time, which is why I have an empty one that I totally didn't notice. But what happens to that legendary item experience, right? Because that's an old thing. Well, what happens to that? Well, they created this legendary item reward track. So now anytime you're getting legendary item experience, like festival questing even, it goes to this legendary items reward track. Oh, hang on just a second. Noodle Fried, are you here? Because Noodle Fried, we have not heard from you. We need you to pop up in the chat and or send before a whisper. Do that ASAP. If we don't hear back from you by the time I finish my next thought, we will draw a new winner for the 500 LOTRO points. So, Noodle Fried, make sure you say something really, really, really soon. Okay. Yes, Before has posted the link to lotrohq.com, so that is really useful. I find that a useful place for what traceries I want to pick. Okay, so that legendary item experience now goes to this legendary item reward track, which gives you boxes, which can be a tracery. Let me see. Actually, let me see where I'm at here on this reward track. Because maybe I can go ahead and pick something out and claim some stuff. Okay, so I have gone through and claimed a whole bunch of these boxes because I wanted the stuff that was in them. Because they're putting stuff that's not just legendary item stuff in. Like there's an emote in here that I really wanted. So it's really cool. Yes, so you can get the ancient script, which is that currency that you need. You can get the traceries, which are the things you put in the spots. You can get enhancement runes, which is a whole nother thing, but it's connected. Basically, okay, so like here's my my bow, and it's the slot itself. So like this empty spot right here, this word of mastery slot right here, I can put something into it of my choice. The spot itself can be upgraded, and that's what you use these enhancement runes. The enhancement runes are enhancing that slot. So if I take something out and I put something else in, that spot stays upgraded. Okay, I'm still not hearing anything from Noodle Fried, so I would say let's go ahead and draw a new winner for the 500 LOTRO points. So, all right. Valestrus was drawn from the giveaway. Valestrus. Valustras. Excellent. Thank you for popping up in the chat. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. All right, so send before a whisper. Just click on his name there and click send whisper, and that way you guys can connect, and he can get you those 500 LOTRO points, get you that code. Congratulations! So, okay, yeah, so these tracery boxes, Arthur points out that you can get them as crest rewards. Sometimes they're drops. So you can get them from this reward track. So there's a bunch of different ways you can get the stuff that you need to put things into your weapons, to put them into your legendary items. So don't worry too much about where it comes from. You're going to have a lot of places where you're going to see it. Yeah. So, for example, Arthur points out you can get ancient script from disenchanting unwanted traceries. So, for example, I have this area effect attack criticals. Maybe I don't want that. Or I also have this beneath notice cooldown. Maybe I don't want that. You can see that I can, at the bottom, let me pull it back up here. It says 40 ancient script. I can disenchant this into 40 ancient script. Now, if I were to buy it, it's going to cost me more than 40 ancient script. So make sure you really do want to get rid of something before you actually do that. So like I can go ahead and claim these boxes out of my legendary reward track, and you have to claim them in order. There's no skipping ahead. So this is where I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I got plenty of inventory space when I do this, right? Because I kind of let them pile up a little bit. And this track goes up to 100, so it's like a while. You asked if it's like the battle pass. I think so. I haven't done a battle pass, so I can't say for sure. But my understand is, yeah. Oh no, Noodle Fried is back. Oh no, we did move on. Now, my hope is to get some more LOTRO point codes to give away next week. I'm going to keep celebrating my 2-year LOTROversary, so definitely come back next week, and we'll see if we can do some more giveaways. We'll definitely have a couple of cosmetic pets to give away, so we'll see how from there what else we've got. So I've got these boxes. This is what came out of my legendary item reward track, and they don't stack, but the things inside of them, these enhancement runes, I can open that up, and that gives me a pile right here. If I have more enhancement runes, like this one, notice they stack. So those do stack, and there's like 4 different colors. The traceries themselves, the things that you slot in, the squares, and these enhancement runes, things that you make the boxes where they go into better, they come in 4 colors. And do I have this off the top of my head? I probably don't. Let me just... It's the same as equipment, so it's like gold, purple, no, gold, cyan, bluish. Hang on, let me just go to Rivendell also. Okay, so there's the best one is like super gold, and then there's like light blue, cyan, and then purple is the second to the bottom, and then like yellow is the lowest of them all. Now, I don't keep the runes that I don't... when I add stuff, if I have more runes sitting around, I just toss them. I disenchant them. You can buy a carry-all, as Sneakies is pointing out, to hold that stuff, but I'm like, I ain't wasting the time. I'm just going to get rid of the stuff. And I am putting legendary items on most of my characters on this server, and I have one of every class on this server. So... but I'm like, I ain't keeping that stuff around. So I do want to point out, though, okay, so those are the enhancement runes. I went ahead and opened those boxes. This is a box of Ancient Script, and I could open that. Ancient Script, thankfully, is shared among all your characters on that server. Oh, sorry, I just ran up here without showing you where I was going. Let me go back to the door. I'm just like on autopilot. So you can open the Ancient Script, but if it were to put you over cap, you'll just lose it. So make sure you don't open those without double checking. Okay. Enhancement rune, we already know. We can open those up. They're just going to stack. No big deal. Now these here, the sealed tracery, and it says rare. It's got the purple words, so we know it's going to be a purple level of a tracery. When I open this, it's going to possibly be a hunter one because I'm a hunter and I'm opening it. So if I am not looking for something right now, I don't open these because I just throw them in my shared storage. And when I have a character who's looking to get a new tracery, I have them open them because maybe it'll be the one they're looking for. Okay, let me show you how to get to this library before I go into any further in that. So, okay, so here was the front door. We came in. And normally, you know how you go in and then there's Elrond's library is up that way? Or like maybe you're going over there to talk to Gandalf, or you're going over here to talk to Bilbo. We're going to go up this hallway, this ramp to the left. All right, so we've gone up this ramp to the left. I'm going to make a U-turn to the left. And then I'm going to run down this hallway. Past the gardener. And now there's this library here, the Word Hoard of Gobletham, because it's Elven and they have to make it complicated and weird. Okay, now we are in the Archive of Traceries, as it's technically called. So this is where you'll find all the things you're looking for. This first room has the different ones that are of those of the class. So your hunter stuff, your Bjornings, your Wardens, all of them are here. You also have a legendary weapon person if you need to talk to them for any reason. But then if you want to get the generic stuff, it's in the second room. You have Word of Power, you have Heraldric, which is that first one, and you have Word of Craft. So that's all right here in this second room. Yes, the cat just walked by. Oh, okay. Yeah, you would absolutely run out of inventory space if you just open all the boxes and just keep them. Like, it's ridiculous. So these things that are like tracery tokens and the sealed traceries, I personally let the character who's going to use them open them. And until then, I leave them closed. Now, let's look at, let's say Word of Craft traceries. Oh, and I saw Egg Arthur said something about Treebeard. Treebeard is still in the lowest band for traceries and runes, but on regular servers, there's different bands. No, well, they're all here. I just can't buy them. So let's start. So you'll see, and this is where people get a little bit like, whoa, overwhelmed, but it's really not that horrible once you know that what they're trying to do. So Word of Craft Tracery, level 50. So they go up in bands. So this is level 50 and above. This is level 86 and above. And then they get to 101 and above, 106 and above, 116, 121, 131, and that's where it stops right now. So we, on Treebeard, have a cap of level 75. So 86 is not available to me yet. We're going to 86 that. So level 50 is what I have access to. And then again, remember how we said there's 4 levels, and before I put that up there, so Legendary, which is orange. Where'd it go? Incomparable, which is cyan, which is the blue. Rare, which is purple, and an uncommon, which is yellow. We don't even care about those. Let's see. Aaron Bard asked, Hobbit's a dual wielder. Can you get 2 legendary swords? No, you cannot. You get 2 legendary items, whatever your class is. So, like, if you're a burglar, I think one's a... I forget what the other thing is. Yeah, like Hunter. Yeah, like Lord Zakbora. Hunter gets a bow and a main hand. That's what I have. Now, my main hand could be a one-handed or a two-handed, I think. I have options. Or I could do an AoE or a non. Yeah, you've got options. But it's always the same as it was. Like, they haven't given you different options in that regard. Okay, so back to this. So I could do the level 50 uncommon. Remember, those are the yellow ones. We don't care about those. And they disenchant into 20 ancient script. So that's how you know those are the trash ones. You don't want those. The next one are the rare. So these are our purple ones. This is where you start getting into decent stuff. So these disenchant to 40 ancient script, and they just cost you ancient script to buy, but it obviously costs you more. It cost me 300. I can disenchant it into 40. So you don't want to do that. That's a silly thing. But if you're looking for one, that's what you can buy. Now, the next one up, the incomparable. Oh, is she on screen? She could be on screen. I have a kitty cat next to me. Hey, kiddo. The next one, this is where things get a little bit more complicated. You need 2 things. You need ancient script, and you need a shattered tracery. You need a tracery of something, a token. And so in this case, because of the low level that we are, it's a shattered Khazad-dûm tracery that I would need to pair with that. And those are a little more rare. That's what we're going to find in here. this tracery token. See how it's blue? So it's probably this Shattered Khazad-dûm. It's probably that kind of a thing. Okay, and then your your fourth level is, remember that legendary we were talking about with the gold color, and see how it's gold, disenchants into 80. You want to hold on to these. These are nice. These are hard to replace. So if you end up with one of these, that's a gold one, and it disenchants into 80 ancient script, find a character who can use it. It's worth it. And these will then cost you ancient script plus a different token. This one is a cracked Khazad-dûm tracery, and the last one was what? Was it also? I don't think it was cracked. Let me see what it was. It was shattered. So that's where, yeah. So these are going to be different tokens that then I would use. Some of those tokens are bound to account, and sometimes you'll get one that's bound to character. So just keep an eye on that. Yeah, so Lady Nori, there is a bunch to go over, but hopefully that's a good start. And you can always pull this video back up and just rewatch this, you know, and put it in slow motion, pause it when you need to. Legendary item. Yeah, I know that was weird, right? Sorry, honey. She's like, what are you doing? But yeah, okay, so just to kind of, to sum up. No, to summarize. No, let me explain. No, let me sum up. In the current iteration of Rivendell, of the house in Rivendell, which apparently they're going to change in the future. Hey, sweetie, you want to just come and sit in front of everything? There are, you can come right here. Yeah, people like to see you. She is a cutie. She's 8 years old. Oh, she's almost 9, actually. Whoops, she's sitting on my mouse. Hi, honey, thanks. All of a sudden, my character's like, what, all over. Screen change. Yeah, thanks, honey. We adopted them a year ago in May. So we haven't had them a year yet, but we're coming up on it. Anyway, okay, to sum up, your legendary items, once you have them, you'll get them from Moria, right? You're going to go through Moria. Once you have your legendary items, they'll walk you through this a little bit, but not in detail. You have 4 categories. It's great when you first start because you only have a couple of slots. You don't have to think really hard because you've got your Heraldic Tracery, that's category 1. You've got your Word of Power, that's category 2. You've got your Word of Mastery, that's what you know, Hunter, Burglar, Champion, etc. That's category 3. And then at the very bottom, you've got your Word of Craft, that's category 4. You're going to put stuff from each of those categories into the right slots. Your Word of Craft or Mastery, the stuff you know, that's where you're going to get more and more slots over time. So you don't have to worry about it right now, but you're going to get more spots to be able to improve what you know, which is great. You're going to come to this library to get the stuff you don't have or to get stuff that you want, that you maybe got something else, but you like this better. Like maybe I've got an area attack critical and I really want area attack damage. It's going to cost me. I'm going to want to get the better one. She's pawing at the cat on the screen.
That's not going to go too well.
I can't show you this anyhow, but Dash over here on my screen, my real life cat is trying to paw at it because the cat on screen keeps moving. I'm sorry, that's fantastic. Oh my gosh. All right, let me finish up here because B4 is like getting ready to go with his stream, which is right after mine. Oh, golly molly. Okay. I totally forgot where we're at. Yes, so you get legendary items. When you go into Moria, they'll be like, hey, we need you to get a legendary item. You do the thing. You get your legendary item. You do another thing. You get a second one. You're golden. Bill Slowski asks, what level do you get legendaries at? You can go into Moria starting at level 45, I believe it was. A lot of the quests in Moria are level 50 and above, so don't feel like you gotta rush it. But at that point, you can start making your way in there. There was a question about last Homely House updates. Apparently, they were on Bull Roar, so we'll find out eventually. Your legendary item, just remember to reforge it. Basically, on the 1 and the 6 is what you want to do. So when I turn 76, I'll want to walk over to like one of these lovely ladies and open the legendary item forge and reforge it at that point. So I did that at level 71. I will want to do that again at level 76. I will do it again at 81. I'll do it again at 86. So 1s and 6s is when you want to reforge your legendary item. You may have noticed that that kind of lines up with those numbers on those levels that they were showing us in that other stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Egg Arthur says one of the big things is there's no loading screens between the rooms. It's a one big continuous structure. Oh, that'll be fun. Lord Zach Boris says 45 for going into Moria and getting your first, but the second legendary item might be behind a quest that's at level 47. And before it does point out that you'll want to be level 47 or 48 in order to continue following the epic quest line past the door of Moria, because that we run into that the other day where we were taking some characters through and they were of a lower level, and so Moria, we couldn't actually pick up the quest yet. We had to go do some extra questing, and then we could pick up the rest of the quests. Yeah, if you want to check out what's coming up, Bull Roar is a test server where they open it up to let people kind of go in and see if they can break things and see where they need to kind of make some changes. So that should be open today. It's a whole different thing. Go check the forums. There's some really cool stuff you can play around with there. It's a testing ground, basically. Okay, so let's see. B4 points out that legendary item pattern breaks down a little bit after level 96, but you can find the complete table on the wiki. Agartha says for regular servers, there's also reforging at 100, 105, and 120, and 101, and 106, possibly. So, are you trying to rub your face on paper? You're not going to get the results you're looking for, sweetie. I know that. Aaron Bard, the question is, do you need to build a new character on Bull Roar? You can do that. However, you can copy a character onto Bull Roar. You don't transfer them. You're just copying them. Check the forums, because there's a whole thing about that, about when you do copy a character, please empty your inventory, things like that, if possible, because of there's ways to break it, and you don't want to do that. So, yeah, so if you are creating, if you are going to go check out Bull Roar, which is very cool, it's a lot of fun, you'll want to go and look at the forum post. There's a big chunk and long forum post that kind of walks you through what you need to do and what to expect in terms of copying a character over and things like that. When you get to Bull Roar, if you do go to the Isengard. So Eyes and Guard is the name of the place, but it's the, Isengard, so it's like a play on words. It's located just outside of the court of Freyrin, over, in Durin's space, and you can talk to. There's a whole bunch of NPCs inside there. One of them is a I can't remember the name of the person, but they're like the Iceman or something. They're like one of those glowy statue-looking guys, and he has the return to skills, like a milestone skill, and you can just buy the return to the Isengard from him, and you just need to buy it once. It's not consumable. You just read it over and over again, and that's really handy, because you can't necessarily just get back there, like always. There's not always a reverse way. It's because it's a special thing just for Bull Roar, so it's not like fully integrated into the game. So yes, so follow that link that Egg Arthur posted, and Before has also posted a guide to the Isengard Tavern on who's in there, what you can find. It's really, really handy. Yeah, Egg Arthur, that's true. You can mithril travel to Thorin's Gate and take a few steps to the Isengard if you get lost and stuff like that. So, but if you don't have any mithril, because you didn't get any when you were in the Isengard,
You can spend your fake LOTRO points.
you can spend your fake LOTRO points. What if you don't have any fake LOTRO points?
Then you didn't transfer for your advanced character.
Yes, one doesn't simply walk into Mordor or the Isengard. But once you're in the Isengard, you can get like stacks of LOTRO points, stacks of mithril coins, like all the sorts of fun stuff to do and play around with. It's all fake money there. You don't get to keep it. It goes away when the server gets wiped, which is like every 3 days or whatever. But it's a lot of fun. Yes, nothing leaves Volroar except for information and screenshots. Okay, I'm going to finish up here. Thank you, everybody, for coming along for my 2-year celebration of streaming on this channel. It's been awesome. Technically, it'll be 2 years as of like this coming Saturday. So this is like our pre-celebration. And then next Tuesday, we'll do some additional celebration. So I'm glad we got to do some of the Bees Big Business instance with you all. I wanted to definitely show that off. And we didn't do a whole lot of other festival questing, but that's okay. We can... we can do more of that later. Egg Arthur says, actually, bugs leave Bulroar too. That's awesome. As always, I will be back on next Tuesday is the plan. And B4 streams right after me with his stream about LOTRO plugins. So here I am running all over the place, and you're about to have the next stream is very stationary, where it is your mind that takes you places. Because he's going to be working on actually some festival related stuff though, so that's kind of fun. Yes, even Boromir doesn't leave Bulroar, says Lord Zekbora. So, yeah, if you have any questions that we didn't answer in the chat, though, feel free to definitely put it in the chat. Like, a lot of us will still be sticking around. I'm just going to grab some food. I might actually cook something, so I might be a few more minutes. But, you know, I'll be back into the chat to help out with answering questions or, you know, anything that we want to talk about. Hopefully, the cats will come back on stream. She's looking at Dash again. She's very like, what is this cat doing? What is going on here? Trying to get him right into frame. She is very like, what is going on? She's doing the creeping and the head bobble and everything. That is hilarious. Usually she has no interest in what's going on my screens, so this is quite funny that she's gotten distracted by that, and I'm distracted by her. Yes, so next week my hope is to have more giveaway stuff. So we'll continue the celebration. So I know, right? How does a cat recognize a fake cat? Says Lord Zakbara. I don't know. I don't know if maybe she sees it like a mouse because it's so klein, so little. Yes, or she recognizes her people. I don't know. It's really funny though because she is like all eyes focused on that. So, all right. Let me finish up here. So. Yes, before it's getting ready. We might take a short break in between us, get some water, you know, that sort of thing. But stick around for Before's stream called Plugin Along, where he's going to be going over LOTRO plugins. And he can answer more questions about legendary items. She's pawing at my screen now. Like, no claws. She's just, like, petting it. I have not seen her do this before. It's hilarious. All right, y'all. Well, enjoy the on-stream and out-of-stream cats in your world and other pets that you have. Have a great rest of your day. And remember to stay in touch with the Hobbit side of your heart and take care of each other. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.